Jesus Christ is a vessel, and he rides upon the storm. Rides upon the storm. Rides upon the storm. Jesus Christ is a vessel, and he rides upon the storm. We are sailing, sailing home. Sailing, sailing, sailing home. Sailing, sailing home. Jesus Christ is a vessel.
Yes, tribute to the Baptist faith this afternoon. Basdio Pande, I hope you sit down in the gallery, in your rocking chair, and you're rocking, and you're taking in the vibes. Because it is because of your decision. Today, there is celebration across Trinidad and Tobago. There is celebration in every quarter. Celebration because of you, Basdeo Pande. And today, I want to give you exactly what you deserve. And therefore, today, Basdeo Pande, I place you on that pinnacle. A pinnacle where the Baptist faith will have to remember you. Even when you pass to the other side, they will have to remember it was Basdeo Pande who granted them this holiday whereby they can celebrate today. You see, this is what should be happening. Prime ministers ought to leave a legacy. They ought to leave a legacy where the country could remember them for their good deeds. Where the country must remember them for their performance. Where the country must remember them for holding the Constitution high above every other decision, feeling, or disappointment. They must remember a prime minister for his good deeds. I ain't talking about Keith Rowley today. You see what I'm talking about? Remembering prime ministers with a good deed?
Yeah.
Keith Rowley, you not in that. You know where they. So I ain't talking about you. So don't get no hearts. But you know where there. But we will remember you. But we will tell you why another day. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am saying, as we celebrate this holiday, a holiday of great significance, a holiday that came with blood, sweat, tears, and prison. Today we are saying to the Baptist faith, happy holidays. we wish you the best. And we also want to wish that you, the Baptist people in this country, will stand fast and hold on to what is right and forbid what is wrong. I trust as you remember this holiday that you will look into this country. You will look into every aspect of this country. That you will look into governance. And as you represent the Creator on earth, a matter of fact, let me bring it more deep. As you ought to be the spokespersons for God on the face of the earth, I am calling you to do just that. I am asking you, the Baptist religion, to do what God requires you to do. To speak on His behalf. And by speaking on God's behalf, it simply means that you will stand for what is right and you will speak out and condemn what is wrong. You see, with the faith that you ought to exercise, that faith have no room for partiality. That faith must be unadulterated. It must be pure. It must be pure. And coming in to that faith and demonstrating that pureness, you will stand and condemn those who needs to be condemned, and you will exalt those who needs to be exalted, because you are the spokesperson on the earth for God. You see, for too long, we have seen religious organizations turn their back on the people. And when I mean turn their backs on the people, when you turn your backs on the people, it simply means that you turn your back on God. Because God have called you to speak on His behalf on Mother Earth. And when you speak on God's behalf on Mother Earth, you ought to speak truth. You ought to speak fair. You ought to speak just. You ought to stand for what is right and condemn what is wrong. And today, as you examine, the scriptures will tell us that we ought to examine ourselves to see if we are in the faith. As we examine ourselves on a daily basis to see where we are, we as human beings, we must be able, first of all, to bring our thoughts, our passion, our bias into captivity. And when you could bring your bias into captivity, then you are able to exhale and speak truth. Then you are able to speak it as it is, not looking for favor from within those who are corrupt, not looking for favor from those who can only give you favor on earth, because your calling ought to be a higher calling. Your calling have to be a calling from above. And the word tells you that if you seek the things which comes from above, then you will have no problem dealing and refuting things beneath. And we as people, as we portray this religious belief, and as we conduct ourselves as sons and daughters of the Creator, we ought to conduct ourselves according to what the Creator has put within us, which is our conscience. You see, when you portray that religious belief, you must portray that belief without fear and without favor. Not as some politicians who will take the book and say that they will perform and discharge their duty without fear and without favor. And as soon as they finish that oath, they ask the partner on the next side, where can we steal today? Where we could steal today? No. You see, as believers, money must not, I want to take my time here now. As believers, money must not be our lovers. You see, when the book speaks of money, the book speaks about a love for money that creates that root of evil. And when you look at what is happening in our society, I think that the devil understands the love of some religious organizations for money. And when the devil understands that some religious organization, that their love is for money, then he provides the opportunity and he provides the way. And when he provides the opportunity and he provides the way, ladies and gentlemen, then there is no getting away. Then you stand and you speak lies for truth. And you take truths and make it lies. And we have seen this in our society. We have seen religious organizations mute their tongues. Mute their tongues because money were made available to their organization. You see, you could spend that money here and you could have time and have fun and drink and eat and be merry, and then tomorrow you die. And when tomorrow you die, then you have to understand that because of what you believe, you understand that there is a place, an eternal resting place. And you folks who profess, you understand that there is a consequence for your action. Do not allow the evil of this society to penetrate your organization and corrupt your organization, that you no longer see the truth and you no longer speak out against lies. We are in a bad state in this country. We are in a very serious state. The state of affairs in this country in relation to governance, we are in a mess. We are at the place where it seems as though that the devil himself is the ruler of this government. It seems as though that Satan have embodied individuals in this government, that they continue to perpetrate evil and yet still put it to you and help you to believe by delusion that it's light. They help you to see what they are doing. It is light that they are bringing, that it's all crystal clear. And then, on the other hand, it seems as though that as God has shut the eyes of some of the religious organizations, so they cannot see. They cannot see because they condone darkness. You see, when you are a religious body, you must be able to speak truth against any given situation. It matters not who you like, rather, or prefer. Anybody. When your children do wrong, as a religious individual, you must be able to stand up and say, my child have done wrong. A matter of fact, when you do wrong, God had created an avenue where you must stand and confess your wrong before your congregation. You must confess your wrong. And if God puts you as those who will speak on his behalf, then when you see wrong in a society, it is your responsibility to speak out. It matters not who like you or who don't. You see, Jeffrey and I and others within our organization, we speak the truth. It matters not who like us or who don't like us. Because your book said to me that if God is for you, who can be against you? That is your responsibility. And as I encourage the Baptist faith today, I ask you to speak out against evil on any and every situation. Speak out against evil so that the light that the Creator have placed for you to shine over Trinidad and Tobago, that light will start to blossom, where others will be encouraged to speak the truth. You must take the lead. You must stand up and speak truth against any government. Whether they give you, they didn't give you, you must speak truth. Because truth is God. Truth is light. Truth is the way. Truth is what will save you. And therefore, your responsibility is to speak truth at every given occasion. Corky, give me that next tune. Speak truth at every given situation. Help save this country. You have a responsibility. Help save this country. My Baptist brothers and sisters, do not allow yourself to be deceived because of 30 pieces of silver. Speak the truth and speak it ever, no matter what it costs. Cocky.
Jesus say come along. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Jesus say come along. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Jesus say come along. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Long time we have walked the road. Jesus say come along. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Jesus answers prayer. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Jesus answers prayer. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Jesus answers prayer. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Go down in the valley and talk to Jesus. Jesus answers prayer. Tell me where you find Jesus. Calvary below. Tell me where you find Jesus. Calvary below. Walk and talk with sweet Jesus. Calvary below. Walk and talk with sweet Jesus. Calvary below. Tell me where you find Jesus. Calvary below. Tell me where you find
Yes, my Lord. Father, we're calling on you here this evening to stretch your hands over this country. Anoint this country, oh Father, so that this country will speak truth. Father, we ask you to come, touch our hearts,
Yes.
help our conscience, renew our spirit, Father.
Yes,
help
Lord.
us, oh God, to stand against evil. Help this country, Father, to speak out and help us that we, oh God, will stand in one unison voice and call on you. Because at this time, oh Father, we know that it's you to save this country.
Amen.
This country, oh God, you have seen what is happening. You have seen the destruction. You have seen the amount of blood that pour on the streets of this country. We ask you to lift your hand over this country. Lift your hand, oh Father. Lift it
All
and
the people
touch
lost their
us.
life.
Anoint us. Father, help us to stand.
People died.
Father, people suffering. People can't buy food.
Yes.
People have no shelter. Father, you see in the condition, the wretched condition of your people, those who are poor and oppressed, those who they continue
No jobs.
to persecute, those who they continue to live, who they leave to live under the poverty line. We ask you, oh Father, to bless this land and to appoint a government who will look after your people, a government who will provide food, clothes, and shelter for your people. For we know that you have created this land with natural resources, and we pray that you put an end to those who continue to rob and to rape this country of the resources, and that you will appoint people in places who will look after your children. Bless you, O Lord. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Right back.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
Our goal is to help your business improve its appearance and make your home a safer space. We specialize in deep cleaning, sanitizing, and setting up inexpensive programs to keep your home and commercial space looking great and germ-free. For more info, contact us today. Speak with an expert.
.douglAR Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts, bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. .douglAR Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. Come on, what you say now?
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
The local Palooza show and countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza show and countdown on MCTV. The local Palooza show and countdown.
Now showing on MCTV.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television MCTV, bringing you back where you belong. Part of the Rhythms Communications Network. To advertise with us, call 218-7820.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. We have a selection of all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs to complement your wellness. Every product we carry is vetted and approved by our pharmacists who will be happy to assist you. With branches at C3 Mall inside JTA Supermarket, 1135 SS Erin Road in Pinal, and 54 Victor.douglAR Road in Barrackpore. We offer services such as blood pressure testing, blood sugar testing, cholesterol testing, and also offer a wide variety of pregnancy test kits. We accept most major health insurances. For further information, contact Eddie's Pharmacy at any of our 3 branches. C3 Mall, contact number 228-4990, 54 Victor.douglAR Road in Barrackpore at 654-2655. Or SS Erin Road in Pinal, 647-0778, Eddie's Pharmacy Limited.
New 97.5, make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM, music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are Multicultural Television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Amplia 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109, Mayaro Cable 103, ICNTG 120. MCTV bringing you back where you belong.
U975 FM, hot like pepper multicultural radio.
All the music you know and love, played by the DJs who know how to mix it just right. We don't come slight, we come hot like pepper.
Informative and entertaining with the hottest DJs in the country. On the World Wide Web with fun radio, adult contemporary music, and
WBHM, the voice of rock. Rock.
Rhythms Communications Network, connecting cultures, connecting communities.
And on behalf of all of us here at U97.5, Victor, we wish the Baptist community a happy holiday today.
Well, welcome. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be crossing over at 7:30 to Douglas Politics, where the majestic Anil Roberts will be taking over at 7:30 sharp.
Okay.
So let's take this call.
Yes.
Welcome, caller.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Victor, Jeffrey, and Coffee.
Good evening.
Firstly, I would like to wish the Baptist, the spiritual Baptist people, the nation. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
A happy Baptist Day today, and may the Lord continue to bless them. Now, Mr. Victor, the Bible says the truth will always set you free.
Right.
Right, and you speak just now like you is the next Prime Minister, right? My respect to Mrs. Kamala Bisasa. Forgive me. You speak there, you sound like the next Prime Minister.
Yeah, that shoes are a little too big for me. Go ahead.
But I do appreciate it a lot. I enjoy the program a lot. Every night I listen to you all. So I must congratulate you all very much for a well job done, and especially Cocky D too. Cocky D in the DouglAR too, right?
DouglAR, yeah.
I hear about DouglAR radio and
I love to hear his voice, when he says, amen, amen.
Praise the Lord, man.
Yes, man.
Yes, praise the Lord. So, you all be safe.
Thank you.
I'm listening, right?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, God bless.
Yeah, the number to call is 218-7762. You open the lines, you could call in and wish the Baptist community happy holiday, and you could also make your contribution to suit. Welcome, caller.
Good night, Victor. Good night, Jeffrey. And good night, Cocky. Well, I'm only have a solid service here tonight. Shout about this day. But what I want all to know that only interesting in the tithes and the collection. My day I focus mainly on anyhow. On the shout about this day, I want to really shout about this enlightening moment. May your eyes, your mind, your heart and your soul be enlightened and open to the truth and for righteousness' sake. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, then all things shall be
added unto you.
Added unto you.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're adding into, so I like that. So all of you are working together. What I'd like to know, that they're singing, they're going to Zion, to the promise. How could you go to Zion, or the promised land, when you're leaving and forgetting 20 people who made a significant and motivating contribution in the struggle for your freedom, your rights, and your recognition? How could you do that? That is not right. How could you resign? Because the Lord, if righteousness and fairness is proceeding amongst you, the Lord will always misdirect you, and he could never resign. Oh, the promised land. You have to have the right to faith and believe. Be courageous. Hold the faith, and the Lord will give you. And finally, I'd like to say, in any investigation taking part in our country concerning the affairs of our country and our people, whether the Prime Minister, any President, anybody that has sent out this investigation, when the results come, it should not only go to the Prime Minister or the President, it could be edited. So what we have to do, the Prime Minister, the President, and the opposition leader in confidence must receive the results. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Next call, yes.
Hello.
Hi. Hey.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Roberts, Cocky, Jeffries, and to everybody. Yes. And I want to wish the Baptist community happy spiritual Baptist Liberation Day, and I wish that they move from strength to strength. Mr. Roberts, I enjoyed that revival here tonight. And you know what? It was a revival. It was a revival. You open the eyes to the hypocrisy that is going on with leaders in our country, especially from the church. Mr. Roberts, in 2015, before the general election, Archbishop Harris knew all. He had a list of all the people that were leaving the country in droves because of the corruption, the crime, whatever. Archbishop Berkeley said at that Easter, that last Easter there, hold on, we are getting a resurrection. We're getting a resurrection soon. Is this the resurrection he was talking about? Because he, on that pulpit, you understand, he quoted a lot of things that Keith Rowley was saying, a lot of lies, half-truths and innuendos that Keith Rowley was spewing. And I find for religious leaders, if they want to be political, drop your gun and join Bali's house. Because that is what they were doing. They were preaching from the pulpit for the PNM. Because they didn't want to find out, what it is was going on. No, because they didn't like the leader because she was a Hindu. How many Hindu people give the contributions to the church and thing? You understand? But why it is what I couldn't understand is the lies. Is the lies, and they continued with it. They supported Keith Rowley in it. Look at today. Where is Father Harris in Grenada telling people don't get involved in politics when you were walking around the Parliament? And you know, Mr. Roberts, what it is really annoying me to with Berkeley. You understand? He, as I said, he was repeating everything Keith Rowley was saying. Today, look at what it is going on in the country. Massive corruption. They're not doing anything for the people of the country. And they had the goal to talk about cronyism and nepotism. We're seeing it rampant now. But according to you, they stole their souls. And it was more than 30 pieces of silver. And we have one now. They changed the guards. You understand? And these guards picking up the same nonsense that the old guards was spewing. So how can we get anywhere, Mr. Roberts? When the leaders of the church are doing this, they have no moral authority to speak to their congregation because they are just like the PNM. They are condoning, they're turning a blind eye. They remain neutral, they remain silent, but that is not an option for what it is going on now in this country. Thanks a lot, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, Ms. Santa Cruz. And Ms. Santa Cruz, we will expose them every opportunity we get. We will expose those who believe that they could hide behind the cross while they collect the dollars on the other side. We will expose them. And we will call on the Creator. And Ms. Santa Cruz, we do what we do because my faith is in God. And that is why I do what I do openly, without fear and without favor. I say it like it is. I bring it as real as I could because I know to the end of the day that there is accountability. That word accountability that we can't find in government. That word is a spiritual word. And the church they first ought to hold themselves accountable to God. And if they hold themselves accountable to God, then they will also be accountable to us, because when they speak, they will speak truth no matter which government in power. So thank you, Ms. Santa Cruz. Yes. Number 218-7762. We will take a few calls. Remember, we will be going over to Douglas Politics at 7:30 sharp. So the lines are open. Now is the time for you to make your contribution.
The music boy, you got it.
Koki, give me a tune there by the time.
Play something in the back.
Yeah, I don't want to interfere with what I already said. I prepare to take some calls and play some music. Yeah. You see what I said, I want it to resonate in the mind and the heart. Yeah. You know, it must touch the heart and stand up and speak truth. Yes, man, bring it.
Never to sin no more. We are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, never to sin no more. We are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, never to sin no more. We are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, we are going down. Jordan, never to sin no more. Jordan River, it fills my body, but not my soul. Jordan River, chilly and cold, it fills my body, but not my soul. And every time I feel the Spirit moving in me, I want to pray. And every time I feel the Spirit moving in me, I want to pray. Jordan River.
Hello, caller.
Mr. Victor Roberts, and to Koki and to Jeffrey, a blessed night to you all.
Blessed night.
And a blessed night to our spiritual Baptist brothers and sisters. And to you all, one thing Dr. William wanted to see, two people never had their religion, was the Baptists and the Hindus. They didn't want these flags to fly in Trinidad at all. But thank God the power of the Baptist and the Hindu have stand evil from around them. Have a blessed and wonderful night. I want to tell you about the laptop and thing next dinner. As the spiritual holiday, we go hold up on that, right?
Right,
sir?
beautiful.
Nice. Have a blessed and wonderful night to one another.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Right, so the number is 218-7762.
Carry them no more. Yes, yes, yes. My soul say yes, yes, yes. My soul say yes, Lord. My soul say yes. My soul say yes in the morning, yes in the evening, yes. My soul say yes, yes, yes. My soul say yes, yes, yes. My soul say yes, Lord. My soul say yes. My soul say yes in the morning, yes in the evening, yes. I am delivered, praise the Lord. I am delivered, glory to His name.
I was lost in sin in the valley of death. I am delivered. Praise the Lord.
I am delivered,
Praise the Lord. I'm delivered. Glory to His name. I was lost in sin in the valley of death, and I'm delivered. Praise the Lord. Yeah. His hands on me. Hey. Hands on me.
You did better than Rowley there, boy. You had to come down Santa Flora for some lessons.
Yes, sir. His hand on me. Happy holidays to the Baptist community. Happy holidays to the Baptist community. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All I need the religious organizations to do in this country is to speak on behalf of God.
Yes.
And once you speak on behalf of God, your lips will be filled with truth. You will have no lies or deceit within your minds and your heart. Because God is pure. And if God is pure and you represent God on earth, then you must be pure. Your words must be pure. You must stand for fairness and justice. You must stand for equality. You must put aside race, because God knows one race, and that is the human race. And therefore, with the power that God entrusted in you as servants on the earth, we as the people, we must see the light in what you do. We must see the light in what you say. You must be the lighthouse. You know, there's a song that said, I see the lighthouse, amen. You must be the lighthouse in this dark earth. You are the ones that is carrying the light, because God is light. And if you carrying the light of God, then how come would you allow the country to stay in darkness and you would not speak out against it? How come would you allow the country to suffer by evil and you would not rebuke it? You are the ones that have the authority to call on God. And if you call on God, God is able to deliver. God can deliver this country out of the hands of the wicked. But if God look down on the earth and he see that those who he have entrusted with the power of light, and he sees that they are acting in darkness, then heaven help us. Then his wrath will continue to be upon this island. His wrath will be upon us all.
Yes.
So I'm calling on the religious bodies in this country to stand out,
Yes, yes.
and shine as the light of God, for God's sake.
And Mr. Victor, there's a part in the Bible when they were talking to the Lord and so on. He said, I was a stranger. The Lord was saying I was a stranger and you didn't
not take me in. I was hungry and you didn't feed me.
And I was naked.
I was naked and you didn't clothe me.
Sick and in prison.
And you didn't visit me.
And then the people said, Lord, when did we see you hungry and thirsty or a stranger, needing clothes or sick or in prison,
and
I
he
did
said,
not help you?
And he said to them, Corky.
Then he answered, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these people here,
you did it unto me.
Yeah, you did not do for me.
And that is what the religious bodies must see, the authority that God have invested in them. They are, listen, the religious body is God's government on earth. The religious organization, they are the ones who should set the rules and standard according to the book that they believe in. And that means by if you set the rule and standard and you are first convicted by what you believe, then you will have no problem speaking out against the wickedness that is being perpetrated against the citizens of this country. You will talk firm, you will talk flat-footed. You would not be shaken, Corky.
Yes.
Corky, that is what it is. Corky, I will tell you something today. I will tell you something today, Corky.
Yes.
Corky, I'm a graduate of the Trinidad School of Preaching and Teaching. I am telling you that today.
That is why the guy called you, Mr. Victor, you're the political preacher.
Corky.
The truth come out, the truth come out. He didn't tell me that.
Corky, I am a graduate of the Trinidad School of Preaching and Teaching. Right. And let me tell you something, Corky. Yeah. You cannot play with God. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You have to be inside. If you're inside, you're inside. And if you're inside, you cannot act like you're outside. If you're inside, you cannot behave like you're outside. If you are inside the body, then you have a responsibility. Let me tell you something. When the scriptures say, woe be unto the shepherd that lead my flock astray. Corky, this is serious business. And we have seen that the religious organizations, most of them in this country, they have allowing the flock to go astray simply because they have collected some money from this government. Simply because they have collected hundreds of thousands of dollars from this government under the pandemic, and therefore they have no mercy. They have now become corrupted, and that is why they can't speak. Because if they speak against the government and the government stand up and say, well, when I give you the first million, you had nothing to say. And if the government call for accountability for the money that they have given some of these religious organizations, then you will see some preachers in prison.
Yeah.
Don't let me get hot here tonight. Take the call. Don't let me get hot tonight.
Good evening, caller.
Welcome, caller.
Just one more thing. It's a thing.
Go ahead.
If I don't have any tithes or collection, would you deny me? Would you turn your back on me?
No.
But where love is concerned, or money is concerned, people think differently. So thank you.
And let me answer you, caller. I want to answer you. Caller, take your time and hear what I'm saying. Today in the church, if you doesn't have substantial amount of money, they put you in the back bench.
What?
In the church today, there is seats that is paid for that you cannot sit in. I am not asking you. I am not guessing. I am telling you. That is how devious the love of money infiltrate the religious organization, they will never speak out against this government corruption. Never.
They will speak out this
They
time.
will never.
They will speak out this time.
For them to speak, Corky, we have to call on the anointed of God.
That's right.
To touch their heart so that they could turn and repent from the wicked ways.
Yeah.
You see, let me tell you something, Corky. Don't feel they ain't hearing me tonight, you know. You feel they ain't hearing me, and don't feel that they ain't know what I'm saying is the truth. Corky, I does not come on this radio station and speak what I hear or what I think or what I feel. When I sit down behind this mic, Corky, it is facts. And if I cannot prove what I'm saying, I don't ever say it, Corky.
Yeah, you didn't say nothing.
I don't say it. I am telling you, Corky, what is happening. The love of money have corrupted. And watch, this is nothing new, you know, Corky.
Yes.
This is nothing new. This was since back in the days of the church, the early church. Money always have a way of interfering with the hearts and minds of human beings. I remember, I think it was Acts chapter 4 or 5, where there was Ananias and his wife Sapphira, who went to give a collection to the church. And when they went to give a collection to the church, they kept back part of the money, Jeffrey. And when they went before Peter at the time, who was operating under the influence of the direct operation of the Holy Spirit, they conspired to lie. And when they went, Peter asked Ananias, is this all you have sold the property for? He said, yes, every cent. And he said to him, he said, the man in the back will take you out. Because you haven't lied to man, but you have lied to the Holy Spirit. The book said that his wife came in after, not privy to what has happened, and said the same thing. And outside of that, she too fall dead. That is what it is. But we have to cross over. So let us close with a prayer here now.
Yes, that'll be nice.
Let us close with a prayer.
Yes,
Father and God, we thank you for this day that you have blessed this country to see. We thank you for all who are living, oh God. We ask you, oh Father, to touch all of our hearts and minds. Touch our body and our soul. Help us, oh God, to stand for what is right and forbid what is wrong. God, I ask you to anoint the religious leaders in this country. Help them to repent and forgive them, oh God, for they have sinned in many ways, many forms, and many fashion. Touch their hearts, oh Father, and allow them to speak truth. Allow them to stand in defense of the poor and the oppressed in this country. Help them to understand that they are the light, and the light must shine throughout this dark world. And help them, oh God, to lead by example, oh Father. Father, we pray that you will remove the amount of blood that is flowing on the streets of our country. Touch the hearts of the youth, oh Father. Help them, dear God, to understand that we all are one. Love is what conquer every other evil. And help us, oh Father, take charge of this Trinidad and Tobago. And Father, we pray, we beg you, oh God, to touch the hearts of the people.
Politics. This is douglAR politics, yo. douglAR politics. Listen, douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yeah. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics. douglAR politics. This is douglAR politics, yo. douglAR politics.
Good evening. Happy Shouter Baptist Liberation Day 2022. To all the Shouter Baptists across Trinidad and Tobago, may God richly bless you as you celebrate your freedom, as you celebrate your holiday and respect for your religious activities. Celebrate, shout a Baptist, shout and praise, because this country needs prayers more than ever before. Run it, Archie.
I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight on nobody now. I never try to stop nobody breath. That is nothing but it, yeah, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it, especially when the world can't pray. But it have some people, soon as they walk through the door, they put a something blocking on your road. You practice people, you think we don't know. And some of the
And on this Shout to Baptist Liberation Day, yes, we are sad and we say condolences to the family, the friends, the fans, Roy Cape All-Stars, to all the fans of Dexter Black Stewart. But we shout to the mountaintops because we celebrate his career, the genius, the brilliance, the lyrics, the voice, the attention to detail, the professionalism, the years of joy and pleasure that he brought to thousands of us day in, day out. The sweet voice of blacks. We celebrate. While we are sad, we celebrate a life well lived. A man from the ghetto, with roots from Tobago. His father had a band back, the Slapsticks, back in the 70s. I heard that and learned that from a caller on the radio on U97.5. So this Shout to Baptist Liberation Day, we celebrate the life, the love, the heart, the unity, the soul about the man, blacks. Will Smith, boy, as I say blacks, shame on you, Will Smith. You love your Trinidad and Tobago, you love your pan, you come online, but shame on you, you use me artwork from my boy Saldina and so on. But Will Smith, you're celebrating your victory, your portrayal of the greatest black story in sporting history. The story of Richard Williams, learning about this game called tennis, seeing on TV that someone got $1 million US prize, not knowing about the game, but teaching himself the game, taking his 2 daughters, coaching them from Compton, from the ghettos of the USA, in a predominantly white sport, a country club sport, a sport that was denied to this type of people. Will Smith, you are going there to accept an award in a white academy, Oscars. Just a few years ago, there were complaints about nominations of African Americans and black Africans across the board in the Oscars, the invitees. We fought long and hard. A black man, Chris Rock, get to big money to host the awards. Not to say that it's overcome, but we beginning to overcome. And on the greatest night of celebration, go back to the great celebration of Richard Williams and his 2 daughters, who are this one, Serena right here, the greatest female athlete of all time. Not only the greatest tennis player, going to try to overcome Margaret Court with Grand Slam victories. Venus Williams, who actually won the first major title. And this great champion, King Richard Williams, on the night that you are celebrated for portraying black brilliance, black intensity, black passion, overcoming the odds, a black man coming from the ghetto, taking and playing and coaching his children on court with pothole, not going through the normal systems, being oppressed and kicking down doors, breaking ceilings. On the day that we celebrate that Will Smith, you had to go and slap a black man on the academy stage live because he made a joke, a bad joke about your wife, Will Smith. With all due respect, shame on you. Shame on you because you did not realize that you weren't representing yourself there. You were not invited there to be yourself. You were invited there for your portrayal of this hero, this great man, this team, this family who overcame things that we cannot even understand, who gave generations of young black children the opportunity to dream of being a superstar in tennis, making big money and living the life. Not only that, branching off into different spheres, fashion, advertisement, merchandising, endorsements. A pure success story, a pure black success story. And Will Smith, you going to take that night with your stupidity? You couldn't talk to Chris Rock after that. You couldn't handle that in some other way. Will Smith, shame on you, really and truly, because that was dastardly. It was embarrassing, and it plays into the Anglo-Saxon opinions that they've tried to force down upon us, that we are angry black men, violent, and black people can't be. That's why we didn't invite them. They may not say it out loud, but you've given them fodder for the stupidity and the ignorance, Will Smith. You are better than that, Will Smith. A shame. Me again into you the joke and the data, that's not my business. You were there to represent greatness of black people. I am telling you, because coming from a sport where my sport was only white people, and when I go to swim in 1980 in the Coventry in the English National Youth Age Group Championships, SO, when you look up in the stands, over 4,000 people in the stand, but you're seeing my mother and father, quick, as you flash your eye, you see them, because it's the only black people. One black African Tobagonian and one Indian sari wearing lady, amongst all the pinks. And the little black boy swim, get licks, and one event gone. One event to go. My father buy train ticket and thing to go on a tour of Europe, because he say, well, boy, all that lick sharing, this boy ain't going to make no final. And when I see that he buy the ticket to leave early, 200 freestyle, and make the final. First black man to ever, black child to ever stand up on a block in a swimming championship in Great Britain. National Age Group Championships. That's the kind of pride we have to fight through. They say we're too heavy to swim. They say our brain, the oxygen not good enough to go to our brain to fly plane, Tuskegee Airmen in the World War. And you come now, and the greatest portrayal of sporting dominance for a black family, a black man, poor people from the ghetto coming through and lambasting, breaking barriers. You come to slap our next black man on the Oscar stage. Will Smith, I am a fan, you know. You are brilliant. From Fresh Prince, come straight up. Even Gemini Man I watch and people don't like that. They find you was boo. But shame on you, boy. Really and truly, I'm sorry, Will Smith. And Will Smith, you slap a man like that. You slap a man live on TV because he make a bad joke about your wife. But Rowley dealing with cabinet ministers' wives day in, day out. And who minister have a wife in cabinet? Then if they wipe outside the cabinet, Rowley lashing all. And he ain't get lashed yet. But they afraid Rowley, boy. They afraid he, boy. Eh? Boy. AATTFA lawyer proposal to pay outstanding debt to creditors expected by next month. Really, Haddad? You there 2 years, you big clown, huh? But you, a billionaire, billionaire, pay yourself a salary since you reach 4,000 US, 5,000 US, however much it is. You really, as a billionaire, pay them put you there to sort out things, and you pay yourself a salary, you greedy clown, and now you talking about proposal to pay creditors. You know who's the creditors? My citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. While this billionaire pays himself a salary, you know who are the creditors who are owed money? Some coaches, some maxi men who provide services, some small caterers who provided meals and so on to TTFA, ball fellas, trainers, psychologists, massage therapists, physiotherapists, people who are owed rent, hotels, these kind of people, guest house, struggling people that the TTFA owe. But this billionaire clown here pay himself a salary. And let me tell you, I'm hearing from David Naked that when we go football, I taping this Tuesday because Wednesday Shouter Baptist Day, right? So I taping early because I'm supposed to go football. And we're supposed to give Guyana 5 of the very best. But I hear that he And Shampa, I didn't see a Shampa because I didn't know what to look for. You're changing, Shampa, you're like a chameleon. But because I come and I blast them, I hear Naked and myself get banned from the VIP. I don't know if it's true yet. I hear so. So on Thursday on the radio, I go tell you, if David Naked, former national captain, national hero, MVP of the Caribbean Nations tournament, when Trinidad and Tobago win, if he and myself, Olympic coach Trinidad and Tobago, we get banned from the VIP because of this Kulong and Shamfa. We will see, I don't know. We go see. Next one. Jamal Shabazz. Don't give Angasif no gun talk, boy. Down here, we don't play. All you listen to Jamal Shabazz, my brother. He coaching Guyana. Run it, Archie.
I think we all know Angus likes to play kickball. He's shown it in the Pro League, but respect to him. You could see some methods. I was impressed. You know, I was really, really impressed. Not just the score line, but the way they put the game together, right? I was impressed with that. But I would like to see them tiki-taka it out against our pressing methods in this game coming up. You know, and I'm saying this with a special emphasis for Wyatt fans. You know, some of my friends in Wyatt and some of my enemies in Wyatt, you know, I let Angus, if Angus name Angus Eve, let him put down the ball and bring it out at the back Tuesday. And you go see where the old people used to say, where barley grow and when to reap it, you see that.
Gun talk Jamal, my boy. Well, Jamal Shabazz, Angasi from Carnage. Go in and tiki-tack from the back, roll it out, and come down your throat. You're going and get 5. Where you feel it is Fennec. It's not Fenzik, you know. It's Angus Eve in your tail. Don't try that, Shabazz. Where the licks you go get, you go want to leave Guyana and come back. Rodney Charles might want to go, but you go come back. You understand? Rowley don't get tired, Rodney Charles are going nowhere. It's just a little joke. But Jamal, you go in and get it. Met Office. I read this article and nearly choke on my doubles and coffee. Met Office, early warnings mitigate effects of climate change. So early warnings, Doppler radar system, very important to keeping people safe, to keeping communities safe, for people getting prepared for anything that's coming. But Archie, last DouglAR politics, we didn't talk something about Doppler. What I forget again? Old, run it. Do you know, I can't even believe, Archie, what I'm going to read, you know. This is shocking. Newsday, page 18. Met Office working to get weather radar up and running again. So the weather radar for Trinidad and Tobago is not functioning. Weather, rainy season, hurricane season, storm season, we does flood when it drizzle. The radar to warn us or to let us know what's approaching is not working. Since when? I must be a day, right? Because we could, you know, if it break down a day or two, fix it quickly. The Meteorological Office is still repairing its Doppler weather radar station in Brasso, Venado, which has not worked properly since 2019. Great is the PNM. So we have to depend on somebody probably in Barbados or Guyana with their Doppler to send us information of what's approaching to warn our citizens of what's coming. My goodness. Rodney Charles, that next question for Rowley. Ask him about whether it's Barbados or Guyana whose Doppler we borrowing. Because we Doppler not functioning since 2019. Dr. Doppler not working. Great is the PNM. Nothing functions. We falling apart at the seams. Everything bust, everything fall down. But watch this. All your PNM, all you need, there's a special place in the hearts of all right-thinking citizens for PNM. Look at this lovely PNM lady here, Abina Kwashi. You know, see her here in a PNM jersey. I'm sure she could do that left foot, right foot done so brilliantly with rhythm and so on. Unlike Small Pin and Rowley, who look like two clong. Rowley, for a black man who real black on the outside, you really pink on the inside, boy. Where you leave the rhythm in the maxi? But we go deal with that later. Price Mart traumatized me today. Why would Price Mart traumatize my PNM lady? Oh Lord, look, she's Miss PNM 2013, all kind of thing. Who traumatized her? Let me see. The bill on the left is last month's grocery, and on the right is this month. Check out the price hike for oatmeal, for example, $101.95 last month to $125.95 this month. Oh Lord, all the others are underlined. Oh Lord, but you didn't underline one thing, young lady, Abina Kwashi. Great is the PNM. Your bill day is because of the policies, the lack of intelligence, the lack of investment, the lack of agricultural policy, the lack of subsistence farming, the lack of increasing acreage under cultivation, the lack of education, the lack of a buy local campaign, the lack of foreign exchange, the lack of fuel subsidy, the removal of fuel subsidy, the pressure on the economy. That is your government, that is your PNM, but you is Miss PNM. Don't complain, girl, because when it come again, and oatmeal will go up by another $25. You stay PNM, because what should really happen? Rowley should get a Will Smith, boy. Oh Lord, Rowley, when you tell me, I see you tell Moonilal, come outside, you have on the correct boots. Whether you're barefoot, you have boots or you have slippers. Tell me come outside now. It happening right there. You Will Smith right there. With the cameras right there. Live and direct. But not Will Smith give a little kind of girl slap. You, Rowley, will get a bellas. You know what is a bellas? Tell me about come outside on the pavement. I will show you what is a bellas. Decades without a school. Longdonville pupils excel at cramped community center. Bundles, EFCL, all you ain't building no school, all you didn't build no school in 7 years. Tim Gopi Singh built 106 schools, and he left about 65 schools between 60 to 94% complete. And bundles, you still, the amount of bundles, you have about 106 different bundles as Minister of Education. This bundle, Afro bundle, twist bundle, Rasta bundle, yes bundle, cute bundle, husband bag in a bundle, outside, Rowley, Foster Cummins, come back inside because the Douglas find out, oh my God, bundles and bundles all around. But Tim Gopi Singh had bundles of schools, not so Archie, run it. Not there? All right. That the wrong time, wait. Dilapidated schools all across. Look at this Ramai Trace Hindu school. Archie went down, snake nearly bite him, monkey slap him. It had some Dwen, all kind of thing. Look at this. Tim Gopi Singh left this 84% complete. And up to now, this is his state under the PNM and Minister of Bundles. But Rowley, Archie and Rowley had say Kamla didn't build no school. Tim Gopi Singh didn't build no school. Kamla and Gopi Singh lie, right? So this is one.
When you hear Mrs. Prasad Bisesa say that they built 100 schools while they were in office, I heard of that nonsense last week again. They built 100 schools. I want to ask the media, to ask Mrs. Prasad Bisesa to give you, the media, a list of the 100 schools that they built when they were in government.
Black Presbyterian Primary School, Riversdale Presbyterian, Tunapuna Government Primary, Balmain Presbyterian, Pinal Rock Road SDMS, Mount Pleasant GPS Soledad Road North Claxton Bay, Palo Seco Government Primary School, Lengua Presbyterian Primary School, Arima New Government Primary School, Tulsa Trace SDMS, Barrackbo Asja Rees Road Barrackbo, St. Barbara Spiritual Shelter Baptist, Echo Village Anglican Primary School, Monkey Tongue Government Primary School, Febo Village Government Primary, Enterprise Government Primary, Union Presbyterian in Hermitage Road, Manzanilla Nariva Government Primary, Lower Komoto Government Primary, Kanhai Presbyterian, Charlieville Presbyterian, Egypt Village Government Primary, and the Minister of Public Administration would remember when we opened her school together at Rosehill RC at 6 Lacoule Street, Laventille Road, East Dry River. Rio Claro Presbyterian, Grand Street, and the Minister of Finance now will also remember when we went up to Paramin and we opened the Paramin RC school in his presence. And we have photographs to demonstrate that. And also the Honorable Prime Minister would remember when our Prime Minister at that time gave him a yellow buttercup when we were opening the Point Kumana RC Belleran Street in Point Kumana. 26. And New Grant Government Primary, Capdeville Government Primary, Pinal Queenam Government Primary, Monroe Road Hindu SDMS, and Durham Village SDMS. Mr. Deputy Speaker, these are the 31 primary schools that we constructed during 2010. The 6 secondary schools completed were the Marabella South, Gopal Lands, Marabella.
I had to cut it. I have other things to discuss. Rowley, you big clown, you disgusting pathological liar. You can't do nothing. Look at school, 106 school, brand new, spanking new. But Kamala thief, UNC thief, Rowley, you must not call what is on your mind and in your heart and in your soul. Because every time you say it, look in the mirror, you big clown. And media, oh, y'all didn't pull him up. He tell all you go and find out. All you find out and then go, oh, he was wrong, boy. Oh God, he lie again. All you, let's find Kamal and put him to sit down and let's try to make him look cool. Let Rowley sit down and cross his leg and show some colorful socks with some ridiculous outfit and let him talk soft so that the people don't know that he's really an obnoxious, arrogant, clueless airhead. Oh my goodness. And while we're talking about airhead, across this country, simple things. You can't even get water. Under Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Ganga, 74% of the country was getting a 24/7 water supply in your house. In 2014, 2015, 74%. It's down to 16% now. And Shepherd and Wassa, they want to tell you, give you information on the contract that was signed in January 19, 2010 to take 60 million gallons a day of water from the Salcott. He don't have information on nothing. He come to concoct something to tell me about 24/4. What is 24/4? El Shepherd did have four days in a PNM week. Your PNM clung at Wassa. You and what is the man named Nanga? The only thing I know rhyming with Nanga is Ganga. That big cricketer, Nanga, Ravi Nanga, waste of time. Nobody getting water. When the lady tell the truth and ball, 16% getting water 24/7. Wassa come to say no, she made a mistake. That was because of February had a blackout. Yeah. But this bag of PNM is some real dance, you know. Archie, and what you have there for me? Show them now.
Yeah, so we right here by Wassa and Diego Martin. This is Diego Martin, constituency of Keith Rowley, Colmin, but the Minister of Finance and the Prime Minister and acting Prime Minister. They have a next one at the Nobrega or something. Me I know who he is or what he is. But let's try this. This is my dog water bowl. It's a 1 gallon bucket, right? We're going to time it and see how fast this water flow in here for weeks now. There we go. a gallon, full to the brim, in 51.72 seconds. 51.72 seconds, a gallon of potable, brilliant water. Shepherd, Wassa, Nanga. Well done. Y'all are fantastic. Y'all want to charge somebody for washing their car with a hose? Y'all are sick. This is in our Wassa. Film here is Wassa where the trucks just fill up and we can't get no water. But this is in our Wassa substation. Very well done, Shepherd, CEO of Wassa. You're total goat. And that was Sunday, approximately 4:06 p.m. And by Tuesday, 8:49 a.m., after doubles, look, UNC, what we did. Well, my people, brilliant, brilliant. Well done, Wassa. Well done.
The UNC works. Elections have consequences. So, when you see all of that water wasting and across the whole country, that is just one, And in Wassa, they say they had 3,160 leaks that they could see. I say, what about the leaks that you can't see, that the water don't break through the ground, it go down and across and stay underground? How do you all extrapolate? How do you measure? Is there a way to measure decreases in pressure in the line to, envisage that there is a leak and go and check and so on? They didn't have none of that. Them there's only way to see. Wassa can only see when it leak. Water, hey boy, you look water day, boy. Leak, boy, yes, boy. That's PNM for you 2022. So when they have 3,160 of them leaks across the board and 55% of your water wasting per month, and then they come to do an audit and they're trying to tell you about the accounting of Wassa and Wassa going bust. When they spend, you know how expensive it is to take regular water and transform it into potable, ready to drink water, all the chemicals that you have to use and so on. When they do that analysis and say that Wassa is bust and broke, anything now, they go in and bust people's throat, labor throat, workers' throat, because they say workers dotish, not the management, not Nanga, not Shepherd, not them, not Rowley, not Minister, a man who didn't know about it. If there's pressure, I didn't know if there were leaks, that if there were leaks on the ground, it will stop the pressure. I didn't know that. He thought he was educating the whole country. He thought he was educating all the children between the ages of 3 to 5. When they do their nonsense, they come in to fire you. Wassa workers, it started already, and they now approve the program, the restructuring, which is bust throat, firing workers just like Petrotrin, just like TSTT, just like across the board. On top of that, they come into you, the citizens, to tell you you have to pay more for water because Wassa is insolvent, because they cost, yes, but if they stop throwing away half the water per month, and the cost will go down, and then you wouldn't have to pay that much of an increase. But due to PNM stupidity, it coming to hit your pocket. So you paying Rowley to be prime minister, to go in the parliament and get on like a wajang and tell the world, I am the prime minister of Trinidad. Boy, we didn't ask you. We done shame at that. Try to keep that a secret now. That is what's going to happen. So your rate increase is coming just now. Hear the Express. Make your voice heard. The Express said for 57 years, almost the entirety of independent Trinidad and Tobago has been on a quest to secure meaningful local government reform. So Express, all right, express yourself, man. Let's read the Express, because I'm very confused. You see how you're all confused by Rowley? And I keep asking Rowley, are you suffering from dementia? Have you been getting treatment at Sinclair for dementia? Rowley, you're confusing the whole nation. You are forgetful. You don't know what you said, what you did. Your behavior is left side, right side. You sit down sometimes and you play cute and nice when pinks are wrong, and then when others, black and browns are wrong, you're bad and you're biting, and then you don't remember where you were August 11th. If it was you, if it was a high public official, then it was you, and you could do it, and you tell it, and then you didn't tell it, and then you didn't write. Rowley, and then you go away, and like you get confused. Highness,
Are you suffering from dementia? And Express, it looked like whatever Rowley suffering from, you suffering from it too. Because the Express says, talking about local government reform, it does not require a crystal ball to predict the future of this bill. The public can expect clash and contestation since the bill requires a simple majority. It will eventually pass into law with the support of the government MPs. If there is any force with the power to alert this cynical outlook, it would be the public opinion. The Local Government Reform Bill 2020 is an opportunity to be seized by the people of Trinidad and Tobago in pursuing the dream of more participatory democracy. Okay, how are the people supposed to grab this brass ring and ring it and pull on it? Isn't that information? Isn't that the job of the media? To read the bill, dissect it, and give an opinion, especially in the editorial, for the people to formulate an opinion on what needs to change in the bill, what is good, what is bad. Is the opposition making sense, or is the government correct? Isn't that the job of the mass media? Let's see, because you're saying that this is an opportunity for the population. Let's see if it's an opportunity for you to get back to the basics of journalistic integrity, honesty, transparency, and truth. Let's see. Express then goes on. Not so much devolution of power, talking about the bill, right? It is not so much a devolution of power as it is a case of moving the same money from one hand to the other. What is evident from this bill is the impact of the current parliamentary logjam on the government's agenda for change. This would show that the bill falls short of the administration's vision for devolution as projected in that document shortly after it came to office. So the government put something to tell you, vote for us, on a document that spoke about devolution and local government reform and getting services to the people, eliminating corruption, getting central government out of the way so that people could get faster service. They came in 7 years ago. They've done absolutely nothing. And the Express is saying that the bill that is laid in Parliament, that has been debated in the Parliament and is soon to come to the Senate, is woeful. It does not even reach the PNM's dream and goal. It is useless. But yet, the Express has no opinion. Express, you're bipolar. What you should be saying is, PNM, what a nonsensical bill. You need to strengthen clause 22A, B3, clause 31, clause 4. That's not your job? My goodness. Shame on you, Express. Foreign price shock coming. Expect up to 2/3 of external price hikes to be felt locally, says Central Bank Governor Dr. Alvin Hilaire, neighbor of Keith Christopher Rowley in Inez Gate in Tobago, but he paid full price, replacing brilliant Central Bank Governor Jawala Rambaran. This man, Alvin Hilaire, selected by the PNM, was espousing PNM national security policy in contracting the money supply. By when they're talking about changing $100 notes, he's agreeing with their policy when he's in charge of monetary policy and takes no instructions from anyone except his neighbor. Neighbor, lend me some salt now. Neighbor Rowley, we are there. You water? Oh, no water because Shepherd is the CEO of WASA. Oh, lost. Well, I will go by the standpipe and get water. I saw one leaking down there. That's the conversation between the central bank governor and his neighbor, Keith Christopher Rowley. And now he comes to tell you that foreign price shock coming. What? But when you read beneath that, that means nothing done by the PNM can cushion you, protect you, take care of you, the citizens, from any global shocks. Because domestically, we have a government that is domestically dunce. So therefore, anything happen outside, we feeling the full brunt. Them can't even cuddle you and give you a little anesthetic, a little anesthesia to ease the pain, a little Panadol, nothing. But he just come to announce pain coming. So he's an announcer for the PNM. So when the pain come, the central bank PNM neighbor governor tell all you that from outside. Therefore, indirectly, nothing could be done on the inside. So let's excuse the stupidity of Rowley and his government. Y'all really, elections have consequences, you know.
Government impacts your life. All you need to take time and decide who bright. All you just decide who brighter and who to go in what school or you want to go in what lessons class, to go in what choir, you want to know who is the better music teacher, to go in what pan side or tassa side or dance troupe. All you want to know who is the best. But when it comes to election, domestic duns, Larry vote, who thought they had completed their job, isn't that being kept secret? What about the barrier divers? A month gone. We're going on 5 weeks now. No commission of inquiry, no investigation, no lockdown of the site, no GoPro, no nothing for the families, no lawyers, no legal fees for them. What's going on? Shh, secret. Not so. What about Rowley integrity form? He didn't fill out the form B. What? Where the investigation? Where the handcuff? Oh, he didn't declare his 468,000 benefit. Where the law? Who investigated? Shh. They tell me don't walk with Jacob because Jacob just walk and shake up. He waiting to hear advice from Fitzgerald at Talbot, Bunks Down Dog Hines. Let me hear. Why this PNM secrecy in Tobago, says the Guardian. All media houses, the second paragraph read from the PNM's nomination is something we haven't seen from any political party before. But all you never saw ministers procuring, but you let ministers procure a galleon's passage. They were supposed to lease a fast ferry. They bought a slow boat to the Ganges and then tell you they bought it for a port that doesn't exist. The minister and the prime minister and a small pin went down with Dennis Moses' blue tablet and procured 2 ferries plus 2 cutlass vessels as ministers. When Rowley just said the port didn't procure nothing, they couldn't find no vessel. And FOIA information showed that the port under due diligence, Allison Lewis, they got 11 boats, of which the top 4 were just like the APT, James, and so on. And Rowley said, well, they're fine none. I go in and buy it. You never saw a prime minister procuring like that ever before. Never. You never saw a prime minister, a man who was leader of the opposition, go into the parliament and lie through his teeth on email gate and then come to be prime minister. You never saw that before, but you all let it go. You never saw 351,000 Pfizer vaccinations were available, and Rowley just say, wait for see how a contract signing here. You all never saw that before. You never saw old boat bridgemans with a prime minister approving it over the phone and lying to Tobago and telling them the cabinet process went through. You all never saw none of that before. You all never saw a man come out and next thing you know, twin girls bouncing in HDC in Victoria Keys with police escort, but Rowley ain't claimed them yet. Or you never see a prime minister with so much outside children all over the place. You gotta watch every child so to see if it look like Rowley. All media houses and media personnel are hereby informed of the following. No permission is given to cover the nomination process. No permission is given for any media house or media personnel to attend the nomination process. And 3, information would subsequently be corresponded to the media. Good for you. And all I want democracy. Oh, it hurt you now, Guardian. But you selected Rowley. You upheld Rowley. You keep pushing Rowley. You got an 89% increase in your profits for Answer McCall. You're happy. Now you're worrying about press freedom when Rowley's a dictator, an oppressive, tyrannical, arrogant dunce. And now, because it hit you, you're trying to mention. You're on your own. We've been oppressed for 7 years. Welcome to the clan. So, no more safe zone. But just so, no more safe zone. But actually, we not in, what month in March? But it wasn't January 17th, I think, where Rowley was saying mandatory, I come in with mandatory vaccine, all your fireburn, all your labor, all your, anybody who want to say, in the public sector, you will make no work, you follow, you're nothing, mandatory. Hey, bully, honey goat weed that not working. It don't work on your cojones, man. You got no cojones. Who tell you that from long time? Who tell you have no balls, Rowley? Run it, Archie. In other words, news, they say Kamala was right. Say it with me. Kamala was right. Kamala was right. The UNC was right. From the start, the UNC was right. The UNC is right. Kamala is right. Tim Gopi Singh is right. Lakram Bodo is right. Rai Ragbi is right. All the UNC, right. Munilal, right. Wade Mark, what, right. Jolene John, right. Jayanti, David Nackett, Lida, Anil, we were right. Say it, news, they are not hurting you because you have Rowley all up in your K-packs. But say it. Mandatory, nothing, no mandatory, it will not go. People, do not be afraid, do not be forced, do not take them on, do not take basket, fire, burn the PNM. It will not happen because it makes no sense. It never made sense. The PNM makes no sense. We were never number one in the world in the best. We were the worst because we have dunces. Rowley is a dunce, Alrawi is a dunce, Convent Girl is a dunce, Small Pin is a dunce, Imbut is a dunce. The PNM is a dunce. The PNM must go. It's mandatory that the PNM must go. The PNM, Rowley, must go. Thank you, Tobago. How many times at the show we had to show you, but we tell you so, we tell you so, we tell you so. People wake up. You cannot vote for people who do not merit your vote. They do not deserve your vote. They do not earn your vote. They're not bright enough to get your vote. Will you buy a rotten doubles with chana from the ground, with no pepper, wash up in wasa brown water? Will you do that? No, because they don't deserve your money. But here the Guardian now. Economic recovery, Archie. Right, this is the Guardian headline, eh? Economic recovery. Right? Stakeholders, decision to abolish safe zones is chance for economic recovery. And they put the economic recovery big and colorful. The Guardian. Let me go to the article. So I went to the article, page 5, and I want to read. Economic, just because Rowley's whole COVID-19 policy collapsed, he did nothing, he shattered the economy. We still dead, 3,740 people dead, blacks dead, plenty of people just rest in peace, people mourning and grieving, and the economy shattered. You could do no worse than what Rowley did. But now we come and say, well, after I tell all you mandatory and force all you and a buff all you and a cuss all you, I realized I was talking stupidness. Let me just open up everything and safe zone. And then the Guardian prints, after 2 years of economic devastation on top of 4 years pre-COVID economic shattering in the energy sector through the negotiation in Houston that Jerry Brooks had to run from NGC and NGC make no money, Point Lisa shut down, and the devastating forex crunch, no diversification, loss of jobs, over 200,000 people lost jobs, and over 200,000 illegal migrants come through the porous borders. Before COVID, everything was shattered. They dipping in your savings, the debt to GDP ratio started climbing, nearly reached 100%. The GDP of Trinidad and Tobago gone down from a high of Kamla 2014-2015 of 164 billion down to now 134 billion, a loss of $30 billion per year. And they come to say, just because you open up the safe zone, economic recovery, Guardian, really? All them problems solved? So I went to read the article that would make the Guardian print this big nonsense for you, the people, because if you glance at that, you feel hope. And they even put it in yellow because it even seems like the rising sun is coming back with all the intelligent ministers to save you and help you in education, in the economy, in trade and industry, in the crime fight, in business, in energy, in sport, in culture. They put it in yellow to even let you feel like the sun is rising and there's hope on the horizon. So economic recovery. But then I go to page 5 and I see restaurateur Peter George. So I want to hear what Peter George did to say that what? Moving safe zone, economic recovery, just so easy. Peter George said he believes the road ahead towards economic recovery requires creative and innovative leadership and decision making to resuscitate the economy. Our institutions are weak, said Peter George. Our support services are weak. Our infrastructure is poor, so there are going to be some challenges.
you still have massive foreign exchange challenges, which has yet to be addressed. The can is simply being kicked down the road. There is a lot of dark clouds hanging over our energy sector. What we face from our inflationary perspective in the next 3 to 6 months, when it comes to basically things like food, so there are a lot of questions that are hanging over us. But that didn't sound like Peter George say, Safe Zone's economic recovery one time so far. It wasn't Peter George. Maybe it was somebody else. So let's go to the Movie Town owner Derek Chin. Okay, maybe it's Derek Chin that said this Safe Zone thing, once you move it, bam! Economic recovery, Guardian headline. Maybe I didn't see it, but look, Derek Chin. She shared George's sentiments that Safe Zone should have ended long ago. The way forward will not see immediate economic recovery. Will not see. So Peter George, Derek Chin, will not see. They say economic recovery need brain, need intelligence, need creativity, need plenty work, dark clouds all over us. We will not see immediate economic recovery. But check the Guardian headline from this article, you know. This is what I tell you, the most dishonest, disgusting. Maybe somebody else. Let me stop it. The president of the Coalition of Bars and Restaurants, Teran Mohan, so it must be him, lamented that the damage may be permanent for many, but the ending of Safe Zones could help others stay afloat. We may never actually recuperate. Economic recovery, really, Guardian? But maybe, but that's all. That's all of them there. Guardian, shame on you. You disgusting, dishonest editorial position. Anybody who reads this is why I tell you Trinidad and Tobago is in trouble. Their own newspaper, and a headline is supposed to come out from your story. The story say, we in a mess. It need plenty brain. So many economic factors have to change. So many decisions to be had. I can't go through all. Whether it's VAT refunds, economic job creation, agricultural policy, getting more acreage under, getting more foreign exchange, diversifying the economy, sports tourism, better negotiation, increase oil production, stop playing the fool. All kind of things need to do. Improve the ease of doing business, getting application, moving, eliminating corruption. All of that needs to be done. But the Guardian come and manufacture a false headline about economic recovery to put in your mind, say, the PNM, it's something, there's some hope. They're not really totally incompetent. They're really not so all dotish. They're really not so clueless. We're really not falling apart. Yes, economic recovery. And the three people who they interview say not a bit of that nonsense. And then, that's one way. And then what else the media does? They find people to come and talk nonsense to try and give the impression that what the PNM is doing actually makes some sort of sense based on something. Remember? Well, boy, there was a fella from the Shagwana's Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Rishi Sukai. I didn't know who he was last week, but I say he's a good-looking fella. But he started to talk about when Bharat Jagdeo said everything is falling apart. Trinidad and Tobago, they suffered from Dutch disease, which meant they focused too much on oil and gas. We mustn't make those same mistakes, because when the oil and gas done and you have not diversified, it's pain. You're going to spend out your savings, job losses, lack of a safety net. You can't help your people. That's what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. It's consecutive years, 6, 7 consecutive years of negative growth. We have no foreign exchange. We have no US. That's what Bharat Jagdeo said. Fair comment. It's true. But Rishi Sukai jumped out from the Shagwana's Chamber, and I said, but where does this man jump out from? But who is this man? I want to know. And I'd say that he and some other one from the Kuva, some Mukesh Ram Singh. Rishi was the sweet boy, and Mukesh was, oh Lord, had a face for radio. And remind the people what I said, Archie, run it. Y'all are such selfish, sick human beings. When all you come to talk some sense. Look how all you get mashed up over one little statement. You thought, oh, I'm going to just big up Rowley so he will like me and I could get some crumbs. Eh?
Sukai, what his name? Richie Sukai. That the good looking one day, the young boy there. And Mukesh Ramsingh. Eh? I ain't gonna tell you what you look like, no? A blackout and possible blackout, no information on why the blackout occurred, total shutdown of business, total mass, we didn't know what was going on. All you happy? We not falling apart? No water across the country, 16% of households getting 24/7 supply. You happy with that? You all getting water in your businesses? Illegal Venezuelans everywhere, 200,000. How can our labor market, you saying labor market before COVID, people was getting job, we had a dearth of labor, we had a labor deficit. Where you learn that statistic? Please show me, because I reading all of it and me I see that. So either you dotish or you lie. The Venezuelans not registered, only 16,000, 13,400 registered, but 200,000 here. So they're not taxed, they're not paying their way, and they're utilizing our healthcare, our system, stressing our education system, and so on, that taxpayers paying for. The government not paying its bills. The government itself had to shut down EFCL and so on because it could not pay its bill. Ministry of Education phones get cut because they didn't pay their bill. TNTech not paying their bills. WASA not paying their bills. Government ministries not paying their bills. And we not falling apart. That's how you make an argument. Okay, Mr. Sweet Boy Rishi Sukai and Mr. Normal Kuvaman, Mukesh Ramsingh, I need you all to respond. Debunk what I just said. Okay, boss man? Right? But all you didn't comment when Rowley attacked Guyana's vaccination program. Sukai, you're talking about unity and one love and so on. You didn't comment when Rowley blanked Guyana. Guyana asked the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the #1 energy economy in the Caribbean, to come across to meet with them at their energy conference to share information and create opportunities. I invited him 6 months in advance, and he tell them no, he ain't available. Y'all find that was right? That was kumbaya, that was respectful, that was loving. Barra Jagdeo is correct. Rowley's, remember Lovell Francis, the former minister in the Ministry of Education, who said when somebody tried to thief an election in Ghana, them win and the Dunce UNC lost. It don't have no UNC in Ghana, but that was okay. Those attacks on Guyana and the government of Ghana were okay. Y'all didn't come out and say that was not loving. When Maduro threatened Guyana and want to take over a piece of the property because he's seeing he want oil and gas, and Rowley and Smallpin conga lining with them, you ain't come out and say, stop that conga line and hug up your brothers in the CARICOM. We need to show unity. All you had pip. All your tongue was stuck. You had cement, you stick your tongue down in the cement that pouring in Point Lisas in the empty lots. Smallpin, when he attacked Barbados, all they didn't say nothing and say, Smallpin, what are you doing? When we attacked the US president, Rowley attacked them and attacked Mondelo and attacked the Americans and attacked Canada and European Union and align us with Russia, Iran and Venezuela. All you stayed quiet. Don't we do most of our business, Shagwana's chamber and Kuva chamber, with the US, Canada and the European Union? So, where was your mouth when Rowley put we in line with Equatorial Guinea, Russia, Iran, and Venezuela? You see, I want to hear y'all. Y'all jump out. You jump out to lick K-Pax and PNM. Oh, gosh, Rowley gonna love y'all. Y'all might get to contract. Congratulations, clowns. Well. I take my time and I show you because I didn't know the gentleman. I just hear the statement and the statement did not make sense. It was nonsense. If you want to debunk what Barra Jagdeo say, talk to the facts, present other facts, tell us about the job creation, tell us about the foreign exchange that is available, tell us about the economic growth, tell us that the GDP ratio is not gone, tell us the government is taking down we savings, tell us that there's only there's more than 7 months, 8 months import cover when Kamala left it at 14. Tell us something. But you see how it is there? Because our country is weak and cowardly because of people like that, Rishi Sukai and whoever Mukesh Ramsingh. You want to know why? I didn't know, but lo and behold, the next day, look what pop up in the papers. Look, Rishi Sukai in the back there. Ministry cracking down on overweight vehicles. The Ministry of Works and Transport will be blah, 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 blah. And if you're found to do that, go up a bit.
confirmation today from Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan at the launch of the ministry's electric vehicle inspection system at Sukai's diesel service in Chaguanas. Me now know why you talk so much tata. Sukai, you're really a good looking fella. Yes man, the girl they must like you. But then they realize that you're a cowardly, dishonest human being. Because of this, you get some little stupid contract from the PNM that you jump out and talk so much nonsense. Look Rishi Sukai. And look behind me, look Rohan Sinanan. I didn't know that. I was just analyzing their statements. Look at Sukai. Look at him good. Shame on you, you cowardly clown. If all you want to come out and talk nonsense, politics is a very serious thing. And just because you happy with your little stupid contract, you don't care what happened to divers under the water. You don't care that everybody, mother, sister, daughter, nene could get raped and shoot because them PNM incompetent, because you get a little contract, Rishi Sukai, to tell us to attack Guyana. You are attack nothing what the man say. And you are a business, head of a business chamber, and you have put forward one alternative argument. You come to talk like you're the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Kumbaya Affairs because you gain contract, Rishi Sukai. You're disgusting, cowardly, unpatriotic. Shame on you. This is not a joke. People are dying every day because politics is a serious thing. And it's because of people like you all, selfish, so you good, you get contract. Okay, well don't study nobody else. Don't study the whole country under a surge of crime like never before. Don't study all the people who lost jobs. Don't study all of those who didn't get laptops. Don't study all those children who are going to fail exams and their future is dark. Don't study the dilapidated sporting equipment, sporting facilities, and the lack of investment in football, cricket across the board. Don't study culture. Don't study ease of doing business because Sukai's diesel stupidness. Boy, fire burn you, boy. And for the next one, well, look the next one here. Look the next one walking through. He was campaign manager for Shada Sukram. Look, the Shada Satram, the girl Foster Cummins, who gives she so much power, she wanted to instruct people who could get work and so on. Look at him in the blue jersey. You see how these men just come out and the Guardian could only find them to put their opinion on a serious matter that impacts the mindshare, which indicates how you will vote. That's how you are being manipulated and lied to by the Guardian media. Mukesh Ramsingh screened for Kuva and was not selected by the PNM. He's the campaign manager of failed PNM candidate and big shot woman who jumped from UNC and went across and start to get HCC contract and all kind of thing and instructing people that she will determine which poor people get work in URP. That's Sharda Satram. And he's the son of Nal Ramsingh, former PNM candidate for Kuva South Twi, but he get licks. So he and his father have two goat, right? And you come in to talk on matters printed by the Guardian to impact the mindshare of the people, to present an opinion that PNM and Rowley are not totally incompetent and have us in the worst state that we have ever been in the history of our independent republic. On top of that, Mukesh Ramsingh, use the water the chamber. I have the AGM report here, you know. I have the AGM report right here. Mukesh, let me ask you a question. How many electors were available to vote, authorized to vote in your election to the head of the Kuva Chamber of Industry and Commerce? And Mukesh, if I was to tell you that you got somehow more votes than they had electors eligible to vote, what you would say about that, Mukesh? Well, you're going to say, great is the PNM. So to Rishi Sukai, and you could put up Rishi Sukai and Mukesh. You want to be PNM, go and join the PNM, go and sit in cabinet.
Do not join what are supposed to be independent chambers of industry and commerce and come with your PNM diatribe, your nonsense that is dangerous to the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago. If you is a PNM and you want to be PNM, may God richly bless you. Go Balisay House. But to stay in an independent organization, giving comments for people to read in the PNM Guardian and believe, oh my goodness, Barra Jagdeo was wrong. Things not really falling apart. Rishi Sukai of Sukai Diesel, Rohan Sinan and Brethren, who get contract from the government. Oh, he's independent. He's the head of the chamber. Let me listen to this independent voice. That is corrupt. That is cowardly. And it's disgusting. So Rishi Sukai and PNM Mukesh. Right? Look, Mukesh Ramsingh. Now all the country knows. You must disclose your biases before you talk on behalf of an independent organization. And to all the members of the Kuva chamber and the Chaguanas chamber, that is all your leadership really and truly. That's what represents you all. How do they make those statements? Did they vet it? Is it a process? Do you go to the general council? These clowns can just come out and talk stupidness so they could use your chamber to ingratiate themselves with Rohan and Rowley and get contract for themselves. That's what the bylaws of the chamber is about. And here the next one. Business leaders. Removal of restrictions good for the economy. Who wants to take a bet? Who they found to say that? Who they found to say, oh my goodness, the restrictions are great for the economy and PNM, oh my gosh, everything's going to be rosy and yeah, they didn't do so badly. Who you feel they find? Rishi Sukai, actually put back up Rishi Sweet Boy Sukai now. Yes, man. Blow him up. Let Sweet Boy Rishi Sukai cover me. Don't worry. Don't watch ugly dotish Anil. Watch Rishi. Is a great PNM contract getter. Sukai. But watch your mouth, boy. Move in. Disgusting. Keep talking more nonsense. Because the people will learn all here one by one, statement by statement. Next time all they want to talk, come with something factual, come with something that makes sense, give analysis, give data, right? Here the next one. This one song like Sukai too. Rowley, I won't be distracted. You won't be distracted, Keith Rowley. So you are very focused. You're focused. You won't be distracted by what Barra Jagdeo said or what anything. You are still focused. So you, Rowley, are a focused failure then. Because at least if he was distracted, we could have said, well, the man wasn't really focused. So really all that poor performance, all that terrible thing, how we falling and things falling apart. Well, the man was, he was focusing somewhere. But you say you focus and you are a focused failure. So this is your best effort, Rowley, focus. Well, Lord help we. All this time that your best. So you are a focused goat. Rowley? Wow. Hear the express now. No, Mr. Jagdeo. See? So, as you can see, I read through this whole thing. And normally Anil takes a pen and he makes notes of little points and so on. You saw I made no notes whatsoever. That shows you that all the express said was write no, Mr. Jagdeo, and then go into a set of emotive, nonsensical, illiterate, non-responses to obfuscating the issue, not dealing with the points made in any form or fashion, talking the same exact nonsense that Amory Brown had spoken about. Oh, CARICOM and Kumbaya like Sukai, and we must love each other, and don't criticize us, and we shouldn't criticize our brothers because CARICOM unity. That had nothing to do with what Jagdeo said. So, here, as I say Amory Brown, look Amory Brown, and they print Amory boy. Amory full thing, right? And Amory Brown says, TNT is not falling apart. Well, again, I read through the whole thing, and I take my pen normally and write little things that are interesting. There's only one set right here that I'm going to read for you, because the rest was illiterate dribble written by Amory Brown.
He said, we are emerging from the most devastating pandemic of our lifetimes, and we are working to revitalize our economy. So everything, according to Amory's tiny little mind, was the pandemic. So before COVID-19, before January 2020, when the economy was shattered, we had seen 4 consecutive years of negative growth under the PNM, where our reserves were decimated, where forex challenges were created, where 103,000 people lost jobs, where the energy sector became shattered because of negotiation by Rowley and Smallpin in Houston, where Point Lisa's 11 companies left, where ArcelorMittal left, where Petrotrin was shut down, and 10,984 workers, temporary and permanent, lost jobs, plus fence line communities, no diversification, no agricultural policy, infrastructure decimation, all of that before COVID. Amory Brown tells you, no, people, don't be so bright. Don't remember that. It's COVID. COVID did everything, says Amory. He says, Amory also says, the economies within our region that are as dependent on tourism as ours has been on petrochemicals. That has to be the singularly most asinine comment. Amory Brown is saying that other economies, small island economies in the Caribbean, are as dependent on tourism as Trinidad and Tobago is dependent on the petrochemical sector. Here's one problem, Amory. We have petrochemicals, and we have beaches, and we have eco, and we have forests, and we have rivers, and we have down the islands, and we have the same tourism package, if not sweeter, in Tobago than the other islands. So we really had gifts of petrochemicals, and we have all the others. So if we did not develop this because we had this, it means we are dumb. And you know why we are dumb? 49 years of PNM. And as I say, PNM, but I must say, Brown says Trinidad and Tobago is not falling apart. .douglAR must agree. I must agree with Amory Brown. Trinidad and Tobago is not falling apart. Trinidad and Tobago has fallen apart. You are correct, Amory Brown. The TNT foreign minister addresses recent comments, says The Guardian. Now, I just went through in detail to show you all that he, Sukai, never addressed anything Barajak. They said, not one thing. Nothing about economy, nothing about jobs, nothing about foreign exchange, nothing about economic growth, nothing them address. But The Guardian comes to tell you with their dishonest pens and their dishonest editors that Amory Brown addresses Barajak. So if I talk in football here and I say, boy, Angus, football, bap, he played well, they're moving the ball around, they're trying to build from the back, they're going forward and so on. And the Guardian, and then Amory Brown come and says, yes, but Trinidad and Tobago did well in netball. He addressed my conversation. Really, Guardian? Amazing. But Jagdeo, Bara Jagdeo, Dr. Irfan Ali, the president, Mia Moore Motley, these people are making the Caribbean proud because of their brain and their intelligence. They care for their people, the ingenuity, and they're moving forward, looking for opportunities, working together. While we have a clown who is attacking everyone, who cannot understand why people hate him, except for his Balizé juicers who clap anything he does. He takes their laptops, he takes their school grants, he closed down the business, he cut URP, he fired CPEP, he shut down Petrotrin, he mashed up the economy, he cut culture, he stifled sport. Yes, but the whole world is not clogged with Balizé juice. And that's why they appreciate these leaders. And they're working together to move their people forward, while our own is disrespecting these. Why? Because he's jealous? Because they're brighter than him? You little wee man, Rowley, run it, Archie.
If you oppose him strongly, Mr. Speaker, he becomes a raging bull. He becomes a raging bull.
Prime Minister, in terms of measurability, Mia Motley left Guyana with 10,000 jobs. Would it not have been better to go to Guyana than to go to Qatar?
What do you have in Guyana? Why don't you go to Guyana if you want to be in Guyana? As a member of parliament in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, you're always talking about Guyana and Barbados. If you're unhappy here, you're free to go. Nobody has tied you here. Don't come and talk to me about me and what. I am the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and I speak for Trinidad and Tobago, and I look after Trinidad and Tobago's interests. And if you have interest in Madam Speaker, what is offensive about this? This is the member who disgraced us in New York.
Prime Minister.
You are the only member of any government.
Prime Minister.
The only member of any government that met with.
Order! Speaker is on her left. What do you think of this?
Yeah, he's not chairing Balizé House General Council meeting.
Prime Minister.
All because you're not good like these, all because you're not bright like these. Jealousy is a powerful motivator for the small-minded, Rowley. Amazing. But look what happened. Mia Motley, not only the whole world wanted to hear us speak on environmental issues, not only is Barbados getting growth and moving up the index, the human growth index, but look, Prime Minister Motley accepts a WHO Leadership Award on behalf of her Barbados team. A leadership award for Mia Motley. Rowley, where yours? Where your award? Where your award, Row? Where your own? You didn't have another ugly suit to go and wear to go and get an award? They didn't call you? Oh gosh, poor Row. Huh? But look at the media. Put up the poll. Look at this. Look at this. This is a mass media poll. Do you think Guyanese Vice President Barra Jagdeo should apologize for saying Trinidad and Tobago is falling apart? That really? Why did you even bother to ask the question? Because the question that is not the question. You're playing on the emotions, and still 63% of the population say no. Because the 63% of the population are realizing and have woken up that the mass media is not a friend. That they portray lies, untruths, and they are corrupt. And they get the truth from social media with facts and information. So even though you asked a leading ridiculous question, because the fact is, you didn't present any arguments, why don't you, newspaper? Barra Jagdeo said, we've fallen apart. Job losses. Tell us, show us. Are there job losses? Or is there job creation under Rowley for 7 years? Barra Jagdeo said, negative growth, sustained period. Last time I checked, 6.5 years, negative growth. Before pandemic. Barra Jagdeo said, you have a foreign exchange crunch. Don't we? Yes, we do. Before you all do that and analyze statements properly and present facts, you all come to play games with people's mind. Move them. And then the real games begin. Now, Archie, it's the first time I have ever seen a newspaper utilize the same picture a week apart. This is Monday, March 28th. You see Amory Brown, right? A lovely picture, good photography, the Red House in the background, standing there, looking like prime ministerial material, prime ministerial. He looking, right? Like the next leader of the PNM. But this is the exact same picture that the Newsday used last week, Wednesday, after we were in the Senate, on the front page. Why would the Newsday be pushing these pictures, giving an image of leadership and class and statesmanship, lifting the profile of Amory Brown? Why is that? I got to thinking. The Newsday is Rowley and Rice. The editor of the Newsday has an affinity and a love for Rowley like no other. So the Newsday, to use this picture and be pushing Amory Brown, it means that Rowley has something to do with this, because that lady does nothing without Rowley say so. So, Small Pin, hard luck boy. Small Pin and Al Rawi, you were good. The pink was good to get the money, to get the contracts. to get the rich getting richer, to get the recusals. But now when the leadership of the PNM, the party that creates divisive, racist positions in Trinidad and Tobago since 1956, you're too pink for leadership, small pin. Hard luck, boy. You thought the PNM loves you with your no rhythm, 1 foot dancing. They got rid of Faris. You Sukaran, you could change your name 25 times. Because clearly the Newsday has chosen Amory Brown. And if the Newsday has chosen Amory Brown to push him, to put him in a leadership position, to give the perception in the minds of PNM people that Amory is leadership material, and Keith Rowley moves Clarence, fire Clarence, force Clarence to resign, and then promotes Amory Brown to leader of government business in the Senate. And then the Newsday is printing pictures of Amory Brown, just so, Judy Raymond, just so. Well, it's clear that the PNM is moving on, but they want to hoodwink and get back race, so they have to put a black face. So they find the great Amory Lollipop Brown. Amory Lollipop Brown. PNM is crumbling. The PNM is collapsing. Foster Cummings, I thought you was going to have a lead. Penny, you better go and pluck more chicken, because Rowley's going with Amory. Poor small pin. After all that chucking in the K-Pax, to be rejected outright like gases coming out of the rectum, it must be hurtful, boy. Small pin, move that clown. But while that is going on, 3 murders, push toll to 121, father of 7 shot dead at cookout, off-duty cop kills bandit, all of that bacchanal going on. And Fitzgerald at Talbot Hines says, no surge in crime. No surge in crime? Really? Oh, y'all think he did say that? Well, you feel the Douglas lie? Archie show them I don't lie now. Run it.
The member for Naparima told us that the world is interested in results. Let me talk a bit about some results. Madam Speaker, in respect of murders, and this is information gleaned, Madam Speaker, from the Crime and Problem Analysis Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, official statistics. In respect of murders, whilst murders increased in 2021, 450 of them, unfortunately, when compared with 2020, which was 399, the statistics still represent a significant decrease in what occurred in the previous years immediately before that. For example, with 539 murders in 2019 and 516 in 2018. Madam Speaker, so that the data presented, Madam Speaker, shows no indication of any rapid or out-and-out increase in murders. Those are the statistics. Madam Speaker, in respect of break-ins, similarly, we have seen a significant decrease in the occurrence of break-ins and robberies. Again, Madam Speaker, the data reflecting that and does not demonstrate any rapid increase in break-ins. 2020, 2,082. In 2021, 1,868. And to date in 2022, 494. The robberies and the break-ins reported in 2021 represent the lowest number of such reports over the last 5 years, spanning from 2017 to 2021. Those are the facts.
Those are the facts. You listen to that clown, and you people are out there, you know what is going on. And then his ridiculous argument that he is better than Small Pin. They're not the same team, they're not PNM. He is better than Small Pin, that's his argument. But I know that he's a dunce. Manning knew it, you all know it. You know that Rowley is a dunce, worst prime minister in history. You know that Coleman but knows nothing about finance, he's a finance dunce. You know that Convent girl is an all-round dunce and knows nothing about health. He's a health dunce. You know that Small Pin was an average lawyer who just get things because daddy put him there and he get brief. And even as a lawyer, he wasn't bright. But as a minister of energy, he's a Franco-man dunce. You know that Rohan Sinner just dunce. Even though Richie Sukai find he nice. Right? Dunce all around. But I could not say that about the new Attorney General, Reginald Armour. I cannot say that that man is a dunce. Extremely intelligent, senior counsel, great track record, experience, intelligence. But just when I can't say that someone is dunce, they do something that baffles me. Because if I'm telling you that Reginald Armour is a senior counsel of great repute, very intelligent, knows the law, has even facilitated many big cases that impacted the law. And then I have to read this in the Sunday Express. New AG seeks legal advice. Attorney General Reginald Armour is seeking advice of senior and junior counsel in the imbroglio involving former Attorney General, now local government minister Faris Al-Rawi, and Chief Parliamentary Counsel Ian McIntyre. So in a nutshell, Faris, a failed attorney, tries to conduct and instruct Mr. McIntyre, an intelligent attorney, an experienced attorney, a brilliant, calm, high-character individual. Faris tries to make him break the conventions, break the rules of drafting legislation and proceeding to lay it in Parliament and so on. Mr. McIntyre stands his ground. Reginald Armour, SC, now Attorney General, has everything before him. He is a senior counsel. He can read all the emails, all the letters, the back and forth and so on. He understands the law. He's an expert. But he come to tell me he going and ask AA Kwamena, a junior lawyer, to give you advice? I'm confused, Armour. Is it, or it couldn't be legal advice you want? Because you ask a the number one political attorney in the country, AA Kwamena, who the AA come because of the echo from his head being up in Rowley K-Pax. Right? He's the chairman of Trinidad Petroleum, the chairman of the PNM Heritage Board, Heritage Petroleum. He's Rowley personal attorney, and you are senior counsel attorney general going to ask him for advice? So it could not be on the law. It had to be on politics. So Reginald Armour, you're ready? You start already, boy? You couldn't even let the Douglas just let you run a little 2 weeks, a little 3 weeks. You go on, you get stained with the nonsense and dotishness of the PNM. One time Reginald Armour SC, you serious? And then, boy, all I could hear in my mind is, boy, when Reginald Armour doing so and playing, he gained political advice. Faris, run it, Archie.
Every day, Faris. Every day, Faris.
Now they always tell children, when you shake your head too much, you kill your brain cells, you know. Now you see why he voted PNM. Now to my police, to my TTPS under DCP Jacob, all you had to come better than that, you know. They had a video come out. When I see that video, I say, but there's a training video, what is this? Then I hear they purport that to be the actual arrest and they find one of the escapees and so on. Abject total. Actually run the video, but leave my mic up a bit. Let me analyze this video a little bit. Run it. Now, first thing, if you're really going to apprehend a fugitive, who is the one with the camera? Bullets could be flying. You had time to take out your phone to film? And police, all of a sudden you all just talk kind of Queen's English with accent and so on, under pressure, with your life at risk. Not a cuss word, not a beep. Nobody even say feces. Huh? Then, cuff him one time. Cuff him one time? Is that how we operate? And then here, nice police, this is how you talk to a man who was armed and dangerous. This is what we normally see. And this is how sweet you all talk and nice. You know why you're arrested? Is that how we interact with police? And touch him nice and you're arrested? Look, move that. Right? Anybody who understands anything, that wasn't Will Smith acting. That wasn't Calabash Ali. That wasn't nothing. Right? That was ridiculous. But the greatest thing we hear is when the police talk. So police come and they have an article. Police slam fake news. They slam it. Nonsense. So I go on to read the article. Here, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Public Information Officer ASP Sheridan Hill spoke on I-95.5 FM yesterday morning and denounced comments in the public domain that CPSAT's capture was fake news. He said, "It is very unfortunate that this video was done and put out in the public domain, but the prisoner was recaptured. This was a real exercise, and that's the extent of what we are saying on the matter. It is unfortunate the video was made and was put out there." Well, then you have confirmed that the video was nonsense. It was a reenactment. No one ever said the man wasn't captured. Look, he there. He was out, now he in. We don't need a video to see that. But you're saying it's unfortunate that the video was taken and put out there. It is unfortunate. That's the point. So slow your roll, mister. All you have no shame. All you put out a stupid video, reenactment of good work to recapture a man who break out from the prison. Very well done. But all you admit that is nonsense. So, Mr. Police, slow your roll now. You're making me feel, I don't know. I'm getting confused. Because the greatest trick, Archie, of the devil, that the devil ever played on the world, the greatest trick was the devil convincing people that he did not exist. And when I see this kind of con man thing going on, Archie, and then I see this boy, Archie, I nearly faint, boy. You know he's not the most spiritual. You know I just love people. I love Matron Begonians, boy. But Archie, I nearly faint. I nearly needed a napkin like Confant Girl when I see this one. Run it full screen.
I want to tell you something. I'm from Mason Hall in Tobago. Mason Hall very close to Lickerton. The last time I was put out of anywhere for anything, the person who put me out regretted it.
We're gonna dance like David dance. 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 Dance like David dance.
God have mercy upon us.
You know, Archie, I was going to respond and analyze to this, but then I decided no. Decided we'll do some research and we'll let the Bible respond to Rowley on this one, not Anil. I have nothing to say. I'm just going to read Matthew chapter 7, verses 15 to 23. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will recognize them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every healthy tree bears good fruit, but the diseased tree bears bad fruit. A healthy tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor can a diseased tree bear good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. As I saw Keith Christopher Rowley putting on a show for you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I had much to say, but then I say I will keep quiet and I would let the Bible speak. Matthew chapter 23, verses 27 to 28. Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of bones of the dead, and everything unclean. In the same way, on the outside, you appear to people as righteous, but on the inside, you are full of hypocrisy and wickedness. .douglAR had a lot to say, but .douglAR decided to zip his mouth as he saw Rowley in some kind of suit, trying to pray, trying to play the most spiritual, loving, down-to-earth person. I decided to zip my mouth and let the Bible speak. Romans chapter 2, verses 21 to 22. You then who teach others, do you not teach yourself? You who preach against stealing, do you steal? You who say that people should not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? Anil kept quiet and the Bible kept talking. Romans chapter 16, verses 17 to 18. I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them, for such persons do not deserve our Lord Christ, but their own appetites, and by smooth talk and flattery they deceive the hearts of the naive. The Bible kept talking and the .douglAR shut up. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 13 and 14, as Rowley purported to dance and feel the Spirit. Rowley, that man we have lived with as Prime Minister for 7 years, as the worst leader of opposition, who went into Parliament and desecrated it. He pretended and feigned spirituality. The man who boasted about working evil spirits and obeah on Patrick Manning, he danced. The .douglAR had a lot to say, but the .douglAR stayed silent and let the Bible talk. Romans, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 13 and 14. For such men are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. The Bible continued to speak. Titus chapter 1, verse 16. They claim to know God, but by their actions they deny him. They are detestable, disobedient, and unfit for doing anything good. The .douglAR need not say another word. Keith Christopher Rowley, my goodness, man, you've reached a new level. But you attempted, since you could not come up to Mia or Irfan or any of the CARICOM leaders, and everyone rejected you, you tried to present a picture of one of the world's greatest leaders, Obama. Archie, Rowley tried to play Obama. Could you play Obama for me? Let the Douglas hear Obama.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was
You are no Obama, Rowley. And you kind of look like Small Pin. You and Small Pin have the same rhythm. But then, Rowley, while you were there, I saw a picture. Archie put up that still photo. And look at this while Rowley is feigning spirituality, brilliance, love, and passion. What's all them banana doing there? Rowley, what's that? Did the UNC send a banana there for you? It wasn't the UNC? Those vile Indian people send banana? All of a sudden, banana is good food. Rowley, you remember when you said this? Run it.
I'm a proud black man in this country and you have offended me. I know what the yellow bananas mean. It's monkey that has created banana. But people hungry in Trinidad and Tobago and you feed the monkeys banana. You could go to hell with that. We are better than that in Trinidad and Tobago. If you were eating 2 bananas, you might try to eat 1 for some good reason. Either to make it last longer or to share it with somebody else. I'm a proud black man in this country and you have offended me. I'm a proud black man in this country and you have offended me.
I now remind you of Romans chapter 16 verses 17 and 18. I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them, for such persons do not serve our Lord Christ, but their own appetites, and by smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the hearts of the naive. So Rowley pulled out a race card, feigned being black, pretended that he was not an Oreo, a double-stuffed, disgusting Oreo, told you, the black people, that you must support the PNM because Rowley is black, and those bananas were so dastardly. And you fell for it because you were naive. And now every policy that he has put in, every cabinet note sees the rich getting richer, and his cabinet ministers and himself recusing themselves. By his fruits, you see that he was not of the people, for the people, by the people. But he created division in order to uplift himself, to fulfill his own appetite. But we remember the words of one of the greatest politicians to ever walk the rocks of Trinidad and Tobago. The Honorable Bastille Pandey always said, "Whom the gods wish to destroy, they first send mad." I need not say any more. Bastille Pandey says many things with very few words. Now, finally, as we say from Douglas Politics, Happy Shouter Baptist Liberation Day, a day that should be respected and cherished by all. But we must remind you that it was that man, Bastille Pandey, and his Attorney General, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, and his Minister of Education, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, who went to Parliament to allow Shouter Baptist religion to be free, to be decriminalized, to open the way for a holiday. And then it was Kamla Prasad Bisesa who built the first ever Shouter Baptist school.
on that day when in the Parliament, October 11th, 2000, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj in piloting the bill to decriminalize the Shouter Baptist religion said, Trinidad and Tobago has on its statute book certain laws which have not complied with the requirements of the Constitution. Attempts have been made from time to time to ensure that the spirit of the Constitution is kept. That is why governments over the period of years have tried to reform some of these laws. Mr. Speaker, the laws which we are trying to reform today are laws which impact tremendously on the right to worship of certain of the religions, and in particular, the Baptists and Orishas. What has happened over the years, from a historical perspective, is that the Shouter Baptists have been discriminated against. As we know, there has been an ordinance known as the Shouter Baptist Ordinance. It is very significant that in 1917, the then Attorney General, addressing the legislature, came to the Parliament in order to get laws to prohibit persons from associating with the Shouter Baptist movement. I think I would like to put on record what the Attorney General said in 1917 when he introduced the Shouters Prohibition Ordinance. And I quote, and he went on, Mr. Speaker, it was a criminal offense. If anybody was found guilty, he or she was liable on summary conviction to a penalty not exceeding £50 in those days. In 1918, the Summary Courts Act was passed. And in 1921, the Summary Offences Act was passed. In both pieces of legislation, there are sections which discriminated against the faith, this faith. One of the main purposes of this bill today is to take some of these laws that we could have found and put them together and put to remove these discriminatory practices and to ensure that there would be equality of all religions in Trinidad and Tobago. Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, United National Congress Attorney General under Prime Minister Bastio Pandey in the year 2000, October 11th. The People's National Movement had ruled this country from 1956 to that 1995 and did nothing and allowed the Shouter Baptists to remain criminal. And this was the response of the now acting Prime Minister, the now Minister of Finance of the People's National Movement, in the debate on that day, October 11, 2000. Colm Imbert, the Member of Parliament of the People's National Movement for Dago Martin North East, said, and I quote, I notice there is the intention to delete the word witchcraft. If one goes into the dictionary and one looks at the ordinary definition of witchcraft, which stems from witch, let us see what a witch is. A person who practices or professes to practice magic or sorcery or is believed to have dealings with the devil. This is why I am saying, says Colm Imbert, that I am having some difficulty with this legislation. From my Christian background, I am totally against dealings with the devil. If we have the legislation which makes it an offense to practice worship of the devil or something like that, and one is now taking that out of the legislation, I have a little problem. Says PNM Colm Imbert, Minister of Finance, acting Prime Minister now. Mike Leavitt, my Christian principles. You did not hear are creating some difficulty with some of the things that the government is seeking to do here today, meaning Pandey, UNC, freeing the Shouter Baptists. PNM had a problem with that. Really? They are opposed to devil worship. I would hate to be involved in anything in this parliament that where we are weakening the laws. I cannot subscribe to any legislation that is going to promote and support the worship of devil in this country. I am not going to support any such legislation. My intervention in this debate has been brief,
I would like the Attorney General to assure me and to explain to me how this legislation will not encourage people to get involved in the worship of the devil, Mr. Speaker. What a disgusting argument. What a disgusting warped mind attacking the people and the African religions. And you all tell the Douglas, vote for that because they're black, and vote for Africa, and that's the debate. Go and read the Hansard for yourself. And while you celebrate all day today into the night, the Shouter Baptist Liberation Day, just say a silent prayer for Bastio Pandey, the UNC Prime Minister, for Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, the UNC Attorney General, for Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the then UNC Minister of Education, and the Prime Minister who later on built the first and only Shouter Baptist School, respecting the religion, respecting and bringing equality to Trinidad and Tobago as the Constitution says.
I never nobody yet. I never fight on nobody now. I never
Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. I am on my way, safe and sanctified. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, let me pass. I am on my way, safe and sanctified. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Children, come go to Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me. Zion with me. Zion bells are ringing and the children are singing. Children, come go to Zion with me. Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me.
Move, Satan, move. Let me pass. Put up that last image there, Archie, as I repeat the refrain of that gospel spiritual. Put it up there, Archie. Look at that. Look at that, and I say, move, Satan, move. Let we pass. Good night.
Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. I am on my way, safe and sanctified. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Let me pass. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Move, let me pass. I am on my way, safe and sanctified. Move, Satan, move, let me pass. Children, come go to Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me. Zion with me. Zion bells are ringing and the children are singing. Children, come go to Zion with me. Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me. Children, come go to Zion with me.
But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a something talking on your road, your road, your road, your road, your road. They practice evil, they think we don't know. And some of them, I never bad mind nobody yet. I never fight on nobody now. I never try to stop nobody breath. That is nothing but it, yeah, no, no, no. I never see people with them things and vex them of it, especially when the world can't pray. But it have some people, soon as they walk through your door, they put a something talking on your road, your road, I never bad mind nobody yet.